pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to some more films I should have talked about years ago. And you know what? Let's get on here with number 10 in the series right now. Already about, I'd say, a tenth of the way there. But let's get on with something different here. Let's go back not only a bit more recently, but we'll also go in to talk a little bit about another subject that had been talked about already in the Detective Comics universe as part of the ongoing DCEU series, which was certainly made to capitalize on the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and onwards, called Aquaman. This was released in December 2018 as being another attempt to try and get the DCEU to be better in most ways. But man, in comparison to many others that happened in the past few years, well, turns out Aquaman turned up to be quite a success, and it would eventually lead to a few other successes in the DCEU as time went on. Of course, I remember that there were other releases like Shazam, Joker, which managed to earn tons of money and thereby making it one of the best movies of 2019, and then there was Birds of Prey and WW84. So, maybe I'll get to that sometime. But Aquaman was just one big step to earn the DCEU's respect, trust, and innocence yet again. Especially with the fact that Suicide Squad turned out to be rather average, and then there was the Justice League in 2017, which turned out to be quite a failure in most ways. But Aquaman did a lot of things differently. It essentially rebooted the franchise slightly, pretty much. But it gave us a bit of a story about the character Aquaman. Because the plotline shows that the city of Atlantis is in trouble. And Black Manta, again, Black Mamba had threatened to throw out their civilization, to destroy them, and it's up to Aquaman to pretty much stop Black Mamba from eliminating all life in Atlantis. But when it comes to a lot of things that take place, especially with the casting, there were picks in there like Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. I pretty much appreciate how they happen to perform in this film in comparison to a lot of others out there. Because let's just say that the DCEU is not always perfect, but it sure does try as much as it possibly can to give us what we want. As fans of Detective Comics, we are looking forward to seeing what the DCEU can offer us up on. But even better than that, because they managed to be even more successful now than ever, the DCEU still does have a lot of creative potential, and we have yet to hear about a lot of things. The new Batman 2021 film has rightfully been delayed to 2022. It would have been a terrible time to release it here in this year, especially with all the crap that's been happening lately. But as I've said before, there's going to be a sequel to Suicide Squad called The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad 2 or Suicide Squad, well, something else. Just The Suicide Squad. That's apparently the only way they gotta name sequels nowadays. But, again, expect that to come up soon. But back to Aquaman. Judging by all the things that have taken place in the DCEU so far, you may not expect it to go down as well, but you'd probably be wrong. I suggest you give this film a watch. And I have actually talked quite a bit about the DCEU before then, like I've said, with Suicide Squad, and there might be times where I might have to talk about some of the more recent arrivals to the DCEU, like Shazam, Joker, WW84, but that's going to have to wait for some time, because now I gotta give this one a score. There's really not too much about this film. It's just that classic sort of, well, hero and villain clash that comes together. Aquaman and Black Mamba, of course, have some pretty amazing time on screen, and the effects are pretty jarring for the most part. It's kind of what you have to expect. These really big budget films out there do whatever they possibly can to get approval from their audiences. And I'd say in this case, it deserves a rightful 7.4 out of 10. So not necessarily the best that could have been put together, but for something like this, I really have to say, For a DCEU film, it certainly is quite a comeback, especially when you compare it to how big the MCU has already gotten, and considering how big its delays have gotten lately, I'd say this is a time for the DCEU to shine. Plus a lot of others, hopefully. But if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.